This is a song about you.
Did you write it?
No.
Welcome to Grindhouse Funhouse 31 Days of Horror. Tonight's spooky pick, Cannibal Girls. It's about a young couple who spends the night in an old farmhouse owned by a reverend, only to find out that the three beautiful women also residing there hungers for human flesh. Cannibal Girls may not have much value as a horror movie or comedy, but it definitely has historical value when it comes to Canadian cinema. It kicked off the era of tax shelter movies here in Canada, and as a horror movie, it preceded the more well-known Exploitation horror classic Black Christmas by a year. This is also when director Ivan Reitman really got things off the ground for his directing and producing career. You loved him as Jim's dad in the American Pie movies, and you especially loved him as the patriarch of the Rose family in Schitt's Creek. Now watch Eugene Levy in his leading man film debut as a very hirsute man, wannabe musician with his whiny voiced girlfriend in tow played by Andrea Martin, who a few years later both went on to SCTV success. As for the movie itself, all they had was an outline of the story, so most of it was improvised, and they shot the whole thing, at least the first go in front of the camera, in 9 days. So yeah, maybe not the best way to do a movie, most of it doesn't make a lot of sense. We do get the backstory of the farmhouse and the three cannibal girls in a flashback, but then we're back to present day. That's when Eugene and Andrea meets them at the farmhouse, and they haven't aged a day, so are they vampires? Does human meat for them specifically keeps them young forever? It's unclear. It does lack in the comedy department, which was one aspect of the sales pitch for this movie.
This just came in this morning.
Is it really fresh?
Mrs. Wilson, if it was any fresher, it would get up and tell you itself.
You'll get to see boobs, you'll get to see blood, and God knows what the girls are eating here, pretending to be people meat. But you'll mostly get sceneries of our beautiful, grey, desolate Canadian winter circa 1970. It is an unmistakably Canadian movie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And man, Eugene plays it cool. He mastered the act of making out on a bed with a cigarette in hand, and serenades Andrea Martin's character for our pleasure.
Early one morning in spring.
His magnificent Jufro cannot be denied, also his Pornstache. Look at it. He wears a brown fur coat who he borrowed from one of the producers. Also this knitted tie? What? He was more hair than man back then. Andrea Martin's character, she plays it ditzy, kind of whiny, kind of like,
Oh, I'm so sick!
Oh, Gloria, I just jumped out from behind the tree there.
Oh, Clem, I find your jokes very amusing.
The reverend / cult-like leader of the three cannibal girls played by Ronald Ulrich has some flair to him, playing a less crazy version of Charles Manson.
We shall drink the blood of life eternal, and we shall live forever.
It's definitely one of the sleazier exploitation movies a bunch of Canadians made back then with barely any budget, but seemed like they had fun doing it. 3 things I'd like to point out. When American International Pictures screened it in the US, they had this warning bell gimmick for when things would get too gruesome, and you would need to avert your virgin eyes to escape the bloodshed.
Cannibal Girls.
That was wholly unnecessary, but a fun gimmick to get butts in the seats. People with keen eyes may remember that this was referenced in Ghostbusters 2, a fun nod to Ivan Reitman's past. And if you get this on Blu-ray, watch the interview between Ivan Reitman and producer Daniel Goldberg, telling us the harrowing tale of getting Cannibal Girls shown at the Cannes Film Festival.
Here's what I'm prepared to do. $50,000 advance. I hear $50,000, I'm going to almost die. It's so much money. And it means that we're going to get out of debt a little bit. And
no one's going to kill us.
It's more entertaining than the movie itself, and it is especially poignant now since both of them died in the last year. I would recommend watching Cannibal Girls for its historical value, and also to watch 2 Canadian showbiz giants at the start of their career, and for Canadian boobs, which are the best kind of boobs. Links to streaming or purchasing Cannibal Girls are available in the description below. Let me know your thoughts on Cannibal Girls, and come back tomorrow for another 31 Days of Horror spooky pick.